This is Townsquare Sunday on 1420 WBSM, a place where people come together to talk about some of the good things happening in and around New Bedford. A place to share, a place on the radio for the people.
Come together right now over me.
And now, the moderator of Townsquare Sunday, 1420 WBSM's Jim Phillips.
Good morning and welcome to WBSM's weekly public affairs program, Townsquare Sunday. I'm Jim Phillips, and we start off today's program with a way you can help your community with really small commitment. I'm speaking about the 4th annual Serve-A-Thon, benefiting the Salvation Army of New Bedford and also Mobile Ministries. My guests are Steve Boulay, a volunteer for the Salvation Army, and George Bailey of Mobile Ministries. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Nice to be here.
Start with you, Steve. What is a Serve-A-Thon for those who don't know?
Well, a Serve-A-Thon, if you don't have a reference, it doesn't make any sense at all. But most people know what a walk-a-thon is or a bike-a-thon, where people either walk somewhere or ride somewhere, and they've got people to sponsor them to a destination. And, you know, when it's all said and done, people sponsor them, and there's an amount of money raised for a particular purpose. In this case, a Serve-A-Thon is we have locations where we set up and people go there and serve and make the place a better arrangement when they leave. And in the meantime, they've got people or businesses sponsoring them so that at the end of the day, the place gets better. The Salvation Army and Mobile Ministries raises funds, and the people that are participating have a good feeling about being able to contribute to a good cause.
And these funds go directly into your programs, Salvation Army programs, and also Mobile Ministries.
Correct. You know, one of the things that I think is a standout with the team effort in all of this is during the past 3 years, we've raised, well over $100,000, and every single penny, there has been no executive fees, no travel expenses or anything. Not 1 cent has gone to anything but the two ministries. And so, that's sort of unique, and we're grateful that there's no overhead costs.
Okay, we'll get this out of the way. When is this year's event and the times of the day?
Okay, it's Saturday, September 8th, and there's a variety of locations. And, the best reference is our website, which is Lift and Love, LIFT-IN-love.org. It's all connected. And, all of the places, all of the projects, all of the forms, everything is on there in great detail. And today we'll just sort of surface all of that and hopefully inspire people to go to that resource, which is in great detail. But September 8th is the date. It's a morning and afternoon session at a variety of places. And people also can do some things that are creative on their own. We have the forms for that. And we have a meeting coming up which we'll talk about.
Well, that's my next question here. For those of you who want to learn more or register to volunteer, there is a public meeting coming up next week on the 26th, I believe.
Yes.
Tell us about the public meeting. Is this the first time we've had a public meeting leading up to the Serve-A-Thon?
No, this is, I think we've had 2 others. And, the mayor has come, and a variety of people have come and have, what's this about kind of attitude when they show up. And what we do is we make a presentation. The major of the Salvation Army will say a word or two, and of course George will speak and share what each of these ministries do. And then we'll get into the details about what a Serve-A-Thon's about. And then there are captains that will be there, and people sign up to help us. And when it's all over, we have a cookout. So if you're hungry, come. If you want to help and hungry, that's even better.
Okay. So the meeting is the 26th. What time?
It's going to be at 6 o'clock.
Where?
At the Salvation Army facility in New Bedford at 619 Purchase Street. And, we hope to see some people that would like to help us because we can use the help.
Sure. Mr. Bailey, how can Mobile Ministries benefit from all this? You obviously, your organization. You probably, if you've been around New Bedford any length of time, you've probably seen Mobile Ministries. It's a food truck, basically, and it goes around and it distributes food to the homeless, those in need. It also distributes other things like clothing and in the wintertime, coats. You offer a wide range of services. So obviously, in order to acquire some of these things, you need funds. And this is how first of all, how does Mobile Ministries operate? Who's the sponsor of Mobile Ministries? Tell us about it.
Okay, sure. Mobile Ministries is at St. Paul's United Methodist Church is the home base. And we have a number of churches that work together. In the beginning, we used to just carry the load ourselves to try to see what we could do to help out the community, but then we found out that, of course, that doesn't work too long when you give away and don't get anything coming much in. So we had to design a program that would actually have the people who participate also pay for each of the runs as they go out, so to cover all the costs of the food that we have. The clothes we usually get for free donations anyway. Toiletries, we also do buy some of those, but a lot of those are donated as well.
All right. So, and you make visits, is it every day?
Every day except Sunday so far, but we have 7 runs a week going on 8. And somewhere along the line, we hope to get Sunday involved, but being on a Sunday with Christian churches is kind of tough to find someone to run the truck.
So these runs, 7 separate runs, once a day, or is it more than once a day?
In some cases, it's once a day, and twice it's twice a day.
Okay. And I know it's I'm sure if you talk to people who are on the other end,
yes,
the receiving end, they're very, very thankful for it. Let's talk with you, Steve. What are some of the sites, take it back, what are some of the projects that have been accomplished in the past by Serve-A-Thon? What's the type of work will people be doing if they wish to volunteer?
Okay. Well, in the past, we've restored a senior center in the south end of the city. We painted a 970-foot fence at Hazelwood Park. We've worked at Veterans Park in Fairhaven, and also we've done some projects at Gifts to Give in Acushnet. And, of course, the YMCA farm is a place to, harvest crops. And so every year we basically had a team of people doing that. We also did a project in a park in Fairhaven. It's on Pilgrim Avenue, and so there was restoration, groundskeeping, and that sort of stuff. And then people have done some interesting things on their own too. We've had a person being sponsored on a pogo stick, which was kind of an interesting thing. It was the unknown pogo person, and was kind of representing people who bounce around in their life and really have no aim in a goal-oriented way. And it was, raised a couple of $1,000. And then we've had people jump out of airplanes, i.e. This guy right here is one of them. Yeah. And then,
I think one of our staff members, Taylor Cormier.
That's right.
Took the plunge.
That's right. So, there's a lot of, we had an entertainment night where Ken Hartnett from the editor, retired from the Standard Times, orchestrated and raised some money for that. And we've had people run and have people sponsor them. So there's a place in there for a creativity on an individual basis. But what we've done is set up 5 stations this time to help people be able to focus and have a schedule for the day and get people to sponsor them. There's 2 in the city, one at Wilkes Library. We have a painting project there. And at Andre McCoy Athletic Complex, we're going to do some groundskeeping there. We're back at the Veterans Park in Fairhaven, which always needs an annual hug to do that. Gifts to Give in the farm in Dartmouth, and they're all happy to see us come back because we come as a like locusts on crops to help out. And actually, we don't really do that. That wouldn't be a good thing to do.
But I understand.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you for that.
You're there every year, and this opening, this crack in the door for something creative, something different, if people have an idea. That's what this public meeting is all about,
yes,
to really offer some of these things and see if you guys say, hey, that's a great idea. I bet you don't turn any idea down.
Well, I mean,
maybe
99% seems these days. Though people can come up with a creative idea that might not fly.
Yeah.
But we're open to a good idea. The heart is the issue. If somebody really wants to help and to share what's inside of them for the benefit of somebody else, it goes along with what the Salvation Army is about. If you think of 3 real priorities of theirs. One is others, the word others. They think about other people. And most of us are self-absorbed and think about, me, myself, and
sure.
I. But their format is others, transforming lives, to take somebody who's beaten and to give them an opportunity to get back on their feet and to make a contribution is a tremendous success and a glory story, I believe, human-wise. And then finally, to bring hope to people who are hopeless and helpless. That's not an easy thing these days because some people are really, they're hurting. And so when I have this front row seat of watching Mobile Ministries and the Salvation Army cooperate with one another to do those things, to think about others, to transform lives, and to bring hope, it's a privilege and an honor for me to be involved with these people because it's not a game to watch. It's a joy to watch, actually.
George, is this the first year that Mobile Ministries have been involved in the Serve-A-Thon?
No, we've been from the beginning. This is the fourth year.
Okay.
Actually, it was started for Salvation Army and Mobile Ministries together. And we've been doing well through the years to grow it, and it seems like it's becoming more and more popular as the years go by.
What does it take to expand a second run or more runs? What is it?
Well, it takes generally, first of all, you have to have availability of the truck. And right now we're kind of maxed out with this. We're getting day and night runs on every day. But it takes about $100 a run to cover the expenses of what it does to give out all the food and so on, because we are still doing over 50,000 meals a year out of that truck. And every day it's going out. So
Sure.
there's those types of expenses that go on.
All right. So obviously, St. Paul's, Mobile Ministries, you need help. You need need a little boost here, and that's where the Serve-A-Thon can come in and help. You're listening to Townsquare Sunday. I'm Jim Phillips. My guest, Steve Boulay of the Salvation Army and George Bailey of Mobile Ministries. So you've run down the list of projects being developed for this year, and it sounds, an interesting list. And you're willing to let people come up with some ideas. That's the community meeting. We should say the community meeting next Thursday. The time again?
It's 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock at the Salvation Army building on Purchase Street in New Bedford. All ideas welcomed. You may not get your idea approved, but 99% of the ideas do get approved for fundraising. So there's a good chance it will be approved.
Somebody told me one time, if you're old enough to have a good idea, you're old enough to hear no. So that's
sure. So the best way for people to learn more about the Serve-A-Thon and get involved, the best way is probably to attend the public meeting. If you can't do that, where do you go?
Okay, we have a Facebook page, Lift and Love Facebook, which will give you a chronological rundown of all the things that we've done in the past. And but the website is the place really to go park and look around and see if you fit in somehow. It's liftandlove.org. Each of the words connected with a hyphen, so lift-in-love.org. And so, that's really the place where you can see all the projects, the forms, some articles that have been written regarding the Serve-A-Thon, and pictures of action stuff going on. You'll see the picture of the old major, who is now in Pennsylvania, has transferred, and you'll get a chance at this public meeting to meet the new major, Major Michael and Amanda Jung, who, by the way, would have been here today, but he's came up with this crazy excuse about celebrating his mother's birthday. Can you imagine that? So, no, really, in all seriousness, he's in Pennsylvania celebrating his mother's birthday.
Great.
Otherwise, he would have been here, and he was disappointed that this is the date we had, but maybe you'll be able to talk with him before.
We'll get him back. We'll get him on.
That's great.
I'm very much interested in talking with him and learning about his plans for New Bedford. So you've got Facebook, you got the web page, and you got this public meeting again, the 26th of this month, 6 o'clock at the Salvation Army building on Purchase Street. George, the Mobile Ministries, have you found that there are more people turning out? In the summertime, I guess more people would turn out.
Yes, a lot depends upon the weather.
Sure.
And it depends on what week also, because a lot of people have some money from their checks, and it kind of too much month at the end of the money happens. So
Sure.
in the beginning it's a little light, but as the month progresses it gets tough, yeah.
And that's going well. That project is...
Yes, it's going quite well, yes.
Yeah.
We don't have too many new people, you might say.
Yeah.
Some come and some go, but it's pretty much the same type of crowd that we have.
How many stops on a run?
Oh, it's actually the runs are located at a particular place. Right now, we try to cover the entire city. We have 3 runs a week at the Salvation Army, 2 runs a week at Packer, up on Cogswell Street, and then 2 runs on the south end at Brock Avenue South Baptist Church.
And that's where people go for help, those
right.
places.
They know where to go, yeah.
They know where to go, and so that's why the runs are to those places certainly help.
And we also have sheets that show them and maps that we can hand out in our bags with them to show them the locations of where they can get help. And a street sheet that's also done by HSPN, Homeless Service Providers Network, that will give them the information they need to get help.
Very important to give them information where they get help. They may not be ready for it today, but someday they might be ready for it. That's the key there. Well, my thanks to Steve Boulay and George Bailey for their hard work on the Serve-A-Thon. Good luck with the public meeting. We can't say it enough. July 26th, 6 p.m., at the Salvation Army headquarters on Purchase Street. You'll learn all about the Serve-A-Thon, all about where the money goes, how you can help, get involved, either to volunteer, make a contribution, whatever. And it's very important. This is a community effort. Really, New Bedford is a very caring community. It's proven it over and over again, and this is your chance to help. Gentlemen, thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right. Town Square Sunday returns in just a moment.